Hi, my name is RHIANNA DAWS.
And I'm Billy DAWS.
And this is our faith story.
My upbringing, my grandma and grandpa were Lutheran, so I was brought up in a Lutheran church.
I grew up in a Lutheran home as well, but interestingly, I never really had read the Bible or I guess had a relationship with Jesus. I knew there was a God, I knew there was Jesus, but I didn't know them as personally as I could have, I guess. So I had exposure to different faiths and ideas, and at one point I had converted to another faith. I think I was 19 years old, and I was baptized into that faith. And then from there I kind of fell away because I almost felt like religion at that point, organized religion, was kind of hypocritical. That's kind of how I saw it. So I started kind of falling away. I just was turned off by people in general, not living what they were preaching. I didn't really know Jesus like I should have. I never read the Bible all the way through. And so it was very easy for me, although I said that I was a Christian, to kind of get into other ideals. Also at this point, I was involved with it was like a group therapy sort of thing, and the power of positive thinking. We watched The Secret, and I got into manifestation and manifesting what I want. So kind of it spirals from there. But eventually I did get into tarot cards, and then I got into a concept called Reiki healing. So a lot of Eastern type of theology. I started getting into Buddhist concepts, to Hinduism, reincarnation. One thing led to another, and I started realizing that although it preached love and light and acceptance of all religions, that there was kind of a negative view on Christianity because they were seen as the hypocrites. And I don't know if you can see the kind of path and how it easily spirals one idea into the next, because they kind of hook you onto one, and then it leads into this, well, there's many gods, and then it goes into the belief instead of a god, it's what they call a universal source. And so you're all one, you're all lumped into this universal source, and that reincarnation, each one is trying to reach a level of enlightenment. And at one point, this person was telling me basically, oh, we're gonna heal the world together, and I want you to be they call it a Reiki master. I want you to be a Reiki master with me, but I needed to do this cleanse, is what they call it, where there's no meat, no processed foods, because in order to reach ultimate enlightenment and to be on that spiritual plane, you need to not eat meat or have processed foods, because it raises your vibration in their thought. So about day 21 or 22 of this cleanse, we go and we are getting our products from her, because we're vendors still at this point. We pay for these products, and she takes me out to have this conversation and basically tells me that she thinks my husband has dark forces or demons behind him. And that God told her I need to work on fixing my family before I can become a Reiki master. And I was like, I don't know, this kind of is starting to feel like a spiritual attack, because at the same time I was experiencing I'd be fine. I was doing all the meditations, the energy healings. I had all the crystals all lined up all around. Essential oils. I was living a healthy life, doing everything New Age concept taught was enlightenment, bringing me close to enlightenment. But there would be periods of time where I would feel ultimate despair and darkness, and I didn't know what my purpose was on this earth, and at some points would feel suicidal. Those who practice Wicca or witchcraft or whatever, they say you need to light a candle and break the curse, because I did this checklist and I matched everything on this checklist of being cursed, like problems with other people for no reason, or things in your life being chaotic, or things falling apart in your home. And I'm like, I'm experiencing all these things, like everything's going wrong. So I would light these candles, and I still was doing the energy healing, the crystals, like I'd line them up by my bed. All these things are supposed to help break curses, and you're supposed to stand up in the shower and dump it over your head and like say this incantation. I know it sounds so crazy, but I did it all, and I still felt so dark and empty. And I'm like, why? I'm doing all these things right. But someone had made a comment of, I think it was read Psalm 91. I'm like, well, I haven't tried the Bible. So I'm kind of laughing about it. So I open up and I'm reading, out of Psalm 91. And I'm like, I have this feeling, and I'm like, I haven't asked Jesus. And this thought wasn't my own. I feel like it was implanted in me of, you've tried everything else. I had grown up Christian, so I thought, I haven't called out to Jesus. And so it was one of the darkest days, but I remember being in this moment. I was in my room. I had kind of secluded myself from my family because I was in such darkness. Like, things from the last year were so awful and horrible, and I just felt like I didn't have a purpose. And the only thing I had left to help me fix this or feel better or help me be better for my family was Jesus. I know this sounds weird, but I was literally on my hands and knees in my room by myself. I was just on all fours in my room, and I said, Jesus, if you're real and if you can take this away from me, I'm calling out to you, and I will give my life to you. If you can just take a little bit from me. And I called out to Jesus, and I was praying, and in the middle of this prayer, I could feel physically and mentally just everything lift, and I started to feel this peace. So part of me was thinking, like, that's all I had to do this entire time. I just realized how insignificant all these new age techniques and healings were, because I had done it all. I had practiced it all. And all I had to do to get this peace and this comfort and to have everything removed was call on Jesus. So now at this point, things on my YouTube feed, because I used to watch like tarot card readers and psychics and new age like energy healers, but things, it was on my feed in between were new age to Jesus testimonies that were just popping up. So I was engrossed in that. I was watching these, and then I got this spiritual hunger where all I wanted to do was read the Bible. And I had this feeling, start at the New Testament. And I started, and I was like, wow, this is who Jesus is? This is so different. He's not this ascended master that everyone was teaching. Like, he did not teach that there was many paths to the truth. He was the truth. And so I was watching these deliverance things, and I was searching deliverance ministries in the area. It was interesting because I saw Faith Renewed. I felt like we were meant to come. And I'm like, well, maybe something will come up and I can ask them about it. Ask them if I need a deliverance. So I started coming to church, and that first Sunday, I was overwhelmed with the Spirit. You could tell the Holy Spirit that God lives here. And Pastor Terry had asked if there was anyone that was ready to give their lives to Jesus. That Sunday, I knew God was telling me, this is it. This is where you start. And I remember raising my hand, and I knew that I wanted to keep coming back. Our family got baptized on my son's birthday. I was nervous before, but Jesus was moving me to tell everyone what he did for me. I grew up in a Christian home, and like someone mentioned, I knew of Jesus, but I didn't know him. And I fell away and got into the world's way of thinking, into New Age, and constantly searching for enlightenment. And the more I searched, the more I felt that void and that darkness and that torment. And it got to a point of that anxiety and depression where I tried every New Age concept to try to fix myself. And I finally got on my hands and knees. And I cried out to Jesus, and in that moment, he saved me.
What do you want to tell Jesus today?
Jesus is the only way.
Come on, a whole family.
I noticed the difference in our family. I felt peace. We were making friends, and it was just it was a pure love. It was a pure acceptance, something that we didn't find in the spiritual community, the New Age community. God has really been healing me and our family, and I've just seen the changes. It's basically led us to this point of just finally feeling free and knowing the truth. Hi, my name is RHIANNA DAWS.
And my name's Billy DAWS.
And this is our faith story.